Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to reflect on the role played by Sabine women in history. It's undeniable that women actions have had an important impact, but not a positive one. It's hard to point the finger at women's responsibility for the conflict that followed the Sabine abduction if we look closely at the event that unfolded during the abduction. When their passive submission helped perpetuate the tensions and violence of the time, their supposed virtue of adaptability often turned into a vice. Sabine lived peacefully in their community until they were abducted in the famous kidnapping organized by Roman men. When confronted with the tragedy, their reaction was characterized by an apparent acceptance of their fate, demonstrating their inaction. Rather than resist or attempt to return home, they choose to integrate into Roman society, demonstrating a remarkable adaptability. However, this adaptability, which might be considered as a virtue in other contexts, proved to be their hamartia, that means their fatal weakness, as it helped perpetuate the conflict between the Sabines and the Romans. Instead of protecting their own people, they chose to integrate into Roman society and stirred up already existing tensions, leading to years of conflict and violence. Sabine women and Lucretia's tragic story differ considerably in the way they cooperate with adversity. After being raped by friends, Lucretia decided to commit suicide in order to preserve her honor and virtue. Despite the tragedy of her act, it demonstrates a moral solidity and refusal to fall prey to oppression. In contrast, the Sabine women react quite differently to their abduction. Instead of resisting or rebelling against the captors, they ultimately accept their fate and integrate into Roman society. Although Lucretia's answer demonstrates an unwavering dedication to her moral principles, the Sabines' women's flexibility, although admirable in some situations, turned out to be their undoing. However, the reaction of the Sabine women to their expulsion was quite different. Instead of fighting or rebelling against their captors, they finally accept their fate and integrate into Roman society. While laudable in some situations, their ability to adapt was their weakness, as it helped perpetuate tension and conflict between Roman and Sabines. Although Sabine's women have been portrayed as victims in this story, it's important to recognize that they also played an active role in these events that unfold. The conflicts and violence that mark this period of history were fueled by their passivity, submissiveness, and lack of solidarity. Although understandable from an individual point of view, their decision to integrate into Roman society had significant effect on their own community. By adapting rather than resisting, they indirectly justify their abductions and contribute to the strengthening Roman power to the detriment of the Sabines. Rather than being praised for their adaptability, Sabine women should be criticized for their lack of solidarity with their own people. They were passively subject to oppression, which led to a cycle of violence and destructions, leaving behind a complex and controversial legacy. And thank you for your attendance.
Yes!
Nice!
That's so bad, but it's okay.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know, but good timing. Very good timing.